So today's episode is mostly just gonna be dialogue from a section of the game that I didn't really like. Even in the original version, it really doesn't contribute much to the story. It's really just retreading the same old ground. Terra isn't sure of herself, she doesn't know she's doing the right thing, she wants people to reassure her, you know. General Leo makes a pass at her, but it kinda doesn't go anywhere. And we're gonna see the same kinda thing out of this game, especially with how wishy-washy Twilight's being written. Except in this game, there won't really be any flirting, and if we apologize to Trixie, it's gonna feel like going back to an abusive relationship, since all she ever did was berate us and call us names. But in the original game, I think that the whole point of this scene was just to establish that the Empire was made up of people. Normal guys that want to get into the pants of a sad, weird girl. Maybe deep down, they were sad and weird themselves. Speaking of sad and weird, I was reading a discussion lately about Final Fantasy's Fall from Grace. Now, you may disagree, but think about their most recent games and tell me which of those new characters is really the face of RPGs these days. Square Enix wants you to believe it's their new character Lightning, but most of us still honestly think about characters like Cloud, Chrono, Sephiroth, Kefka, you know, the big guys. The average person usually thinks of a character from Square. I mean, they used to dominate the market, but with the most recent games, even Final Fantasy X, there's really not very many strong personalities. I mean, even Titus was pretty well put together, but the guy was kind of obnoxious. For all his faults, he was a great fish out of water. He asked a lot of stupid questions for the player, and I could honestly believe that there was no way he would ever catch on to any of the plot twists. He just wasn't very heroic, though. He was hard to look up to. You didn't really want him to succeed, but you didn't really want him to fail. But 10 was probably the last time they even used good story conventions. In 7, Cloud was a fish out of water in Midgar. He hadn't really been there before, so everyone was telling him about the place. Then when you leave Midgar, Cloud fills in the rest of the party about Sephiroth and the rest of the plot. In 6, Terra has amnesia, so people just keep telling her stuff until we've established all we need to know. In Chrono Trigger, Luca is supposed to be more intelligent than the main character, so she tells him all her theories and talks to him about the history of the eras that you're in. You see how they create fantasy worlds and then kinda just organically explain them, but by the time they get to Final Fantasy XII, they just quit doing that! As though they thought it was a bad practice to seamlessly introduce the player to the world. Now if I want to play their stupid games, I've got to read the online wiki or read their in-game encyclopedia. Call me a Philistine if you want, but I won't do that! With the Wikipedia, there could be spoilers, and with the encyclopedia, I don't know if there's bad writing, a bad translation, or if they're trying to omit facts to make room for future plot developments. In any case, it's not really very good to go logic first. Think about Kefka from this game, or Discord in our case. He shows up to the castle acting crazy, and then tries to burn the place down. And before that, we have flashbacks of him making Terra do terrible things. Sephiroth in Final Fantasy VII is introduced through a bloodbath. After these things, then we start talking about who the characters are and what they mean. See, we get the emotional connection first. Lavos from Chrono Trigger just bursts up out of the ground and starts killing the planet, and everyone's like, oh my god, what is that? As opposed to if we'd explained to the player ahead of time that Lavos is a giant space beetle that eats planets. Then he'd burst up out of the ground and players would just be like, oh, huh. So that's Lavos. I thought that he'd have legs. See, it can screw everything up if the player uses logic before feelings. The whole encyclopedia thing just doesn't do what it needs to do. But anyway, let's get back to our game. If Twilight goes, I'll go. Twi and Bloom, sitting in a tree. Bloom, thank you. I think the rest of you should wait here, try to find out what the Empire is really up to. If they're up to what they say, then good job. I think you're right. We'll spy as a crowded group. You can count on us to screw everything up because we're in each other's way. Leave no stone unturned, no mountain unclimbed, no meal uncooked, no crook unbooked. Well, okay then, sounds like you have a plan. See y'all later. Twilight, please be careful, and don't forget to write me a letter about what you've learned. No, that's Butts. You write Apple Bloom a letter. Apple Bloom is more in charge than you right now, and you haven't taught Twilight a single dumb thing. I would even dare to say that the magic of friendship is second bananas to the magic of espers. In fact, I think that maybe this entire plotline has been revolving around the magic of espers, and is not in any way even remotely related to the magic of friendship. For that reason, I will declare openly that although Celestia is Twilight's mentor in the show, in this game she is nothing but a dumb rich lady who cannot run her kingdom. Twilight has been through a lot, and you have not helped with anything. So I suggest that you write yourself a letter and send it to someone who cares, who is yourself. Okay, no really, I actually totally forgot about the whole friendship is magic thing, because it's been such a not prominent feature of the game. Twilight's been gone for the longest time, and I don't know why Celestia thinks that Twilight would still want to write friendship reports. Twilight has been through stuff. She's seen things. She's half demigod now. Why would she really want to write to Celestia at all? I'll come out and say it, I think the friendship reports just seem a little bit childish now. Let's examine the situation. Homes burned. We're working for a government we don't really like. Or rather, for a government that previously exploited Twilight for her magical abilities. And how did we get here? We got here because our friends kept telling us this was a good idea. It's okay, Twilight, just shove that cicada right up your nose. What could happen? Oh gosh, who would have known there's such a thing as cicada disease? Well, it's good that you did it instead of one of us. Besides, as I recall, was it not too long ago that Celestia was telling me I had no friends in the Empire, even though I'm working with them now? And didn't she tell me that so I'd feel weak, insecure, and isolated, and I'd be afraid not to join the rebellion? Dear Princess Celestia, friends suck! Sincerely, your faithful pony that you condescend to, Twilight Sparkle. I am glad to see you here, for there are things I must make clear. Okay, the rhyming was worse than that, but I fixed it. Good old Zecora, couldn't rhyme to save a life. Oh, hi Trixie, how are you? Let me introduce you, General Trixie and Fluttershy too. Hi Fluttershy. Okay, let's get this over with. Everyone stare at the Trixie. Is something askew with these ponies too? Yeah, Trixie thinks we're a wet bag of farts and she tells us all the time. The boat can't move until it's repaired. Take a rest at the inn upstairs. Kind of a slant rhyme. Please get some rest. We need you at the very best. Okay, I will comply with your request. No, Trixie. Please don't reach out to her emotionally. We don't need to encourage her. Oh, what? Are you being tsundere now? You betrayed us for us bakas? Yeah, you run away. Trixie. Oh no, I hope she doesn't think less of us. The Empire hired me to help. Oh, I bet those espers are so cute. Yeah, well, I mean, like, they're like unicorns and whales and stuff. Or, you know, I guess you didn't hear about Twilight's mom, but that's not really a very cute story. Just, you know, be forewarned that they might like your butt. It's kind of like Spike with Rarity, you know, just don't get confused about platonic stuff. General Zecora told us about you, by all means. Oh, okay. Oh, sweet, we got the best room in the place. Why does Celestia think that the Empire isn't cool? Look at this, check it out, we got 4 beds for 2 ponies. We could grab extra pillows. Oh no. Oh, Apple Bloom is sleepwalking. I actually have no control over her, so I'm just watching this play out. But yeah, those rebels lived in a cave. Also, no one is watching the cash register. Oh boy. Hi, Trixie. Da, 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 da. Trixie, I know you treated us like a bad case of ringworm, but I still love you. I want you to know that even though you can't stop glaring at everyone, and you make all of us feel uncomfortable, that making a comic of you will still get me on Equestria Daily, and for that you are useful. I hope that one day, Seth will turn for realsies gay, and then we can start making more comics about Hoity-Toity, and Big Mac, and other male characters. But until that time, you're the most important pony. Well, the most important pony that's completely monodimensional and has no real importance to the show. You're not more important than a main character, that would just be silly. Oh, don't run off! Okay. Well, I'll just stay up here and think back on our fond memories that are now behind us, like how you used to call me Bumpkin, or Retard, or Ugly Face. Oh, Trixie, you just never know what you've lost until it's gone. But gosh, I just don't know what to do with all this self-confidence since she left. I mean, like, Apple Bloom is leading now, she's telling everyone what to do, and no one is contradicting her or calling her stupid. I just really miss Trixie and everything that she contributed. Right, let's go, on with the show. Oh, Zecora, you're such a just wacky pony. You guys are all wacky. But this is just a wacky kind of empire. It sure is good. We get to spend all this time with all these cutscenes this episode. We're gonna be learning about Trixie's depression, and Twilight's depression, and Fluttershy's depression, and Zecora's struggle not to become depressed, surrounded by so many depressing ponies. Well, of course, Apple Bloom's gonna be depressed, because, you know, Trixie is depressed, and she blames herself. All systems A-okay. Get out of here, you optimist! The trip should only take about 24 hours, then we can ask those espers to restrain their powers. I just want to take this mission seriously, but they put Zecora in charge. We'll lay a siege to starve our foes. Be careful not to stub your toes. Yes, sir, I'll tell the soldiers. What? I used to be a general in the Empire. Don't you tell me where I can and cannot go. Okay, fine, I'll stay on the railroad. Is something wrong, my dear? Speak to me, you have nothing to fear. Your meter is way off. Look, is this like a speech impediment? How do I delicately broach the subject? You look like you're feeling well, yet something still inside you dwells. Okay, you know, I've said that Discord is a kid show villain and should be treated like one. Well, you know, Zecora is a kid show character too. I just don't get it. The Empire taught me everything I know, to make me a weapon. I tried so hard to get away from it. Yet the first real choice I have in my life, I choose to fight again. No, you're acting as a diplomat. Not everyone is a villain like Discord. Your faith in yourself may yet be restored. You're wise like the back of a cereal box, Zecora. Faith in myself? I'm just not sure if I can stab all those espers. I knew of your plight, but did nothing to aid. I was told it was alright, but my trust was mislaid. Okay, look, I'll accept that Twilight's trust is important, But here's the thing, she's a diplomat who's expressing concerns that she may not be able to commit murder again. My special talent is magic. Does that mean I'm destined to fight my whole life? Twilight, no! Don't kill anymore! That is not entirely true. What you do with your life is up to you. Like, for example, you could maybe talk to the espers instead of killing them. But that's all any pony wants me to do. No! Twilight, no! They want you to talk quietly with the espers. They don't want you to kill anyone. Restrain your urge to kill. Your life on your own has only just begun. Someday soon you'll understand. Wait a minute. Oh, I read it wrong. Never mind. Zecora? No, come back. Okay, look. No, there's a really obvious disconnection between what your diplomat thinks she's supposed to do and what is actually supposed to happen. If she was worried that maybe she couldn't be persuasive, that would be one thing, but she's talking about killing again. Princess, will I really understand this all one day? Why do you care what Princess Celestia thinks? Focus on what is at hand, Twilight. Is that you, Trixie? I hope not. I don't want to have a conversation with Trixie about my feelings or desire to kill. Oh, please excuse me, I wanted to watch the dolphins swim in the dark. Okay. Were you listening to us just now? Did you hear me wonder aloud if Princess Celestia thought I should kill more ponies? I didn't mean to eavesdrop, but if I had to posit some kind of, observation, I'd say that you don't seem to understand the point of your mission. I'm sorry, Twilight, I'm just a Pegasus pony. I can't tell you anything about magic. Oh, well, I wasn't gonna ask, but now I know specifically not to ask, so thank you. Twilight? Yes, go on. There's a lot of ponies in this world who've forgotten what friendship can be. But don't be like them. I mean, if that's okay with you. Yeah, thank you, Fluttershy. That's good. I'll talk to you later. Good night. Okay. Just stares at me as I go. It's really awkward. Gonna walk really funny. Egg! I think I'm gonna not really lighten the mood, because originally the character that was doing this was kinda, well, he boasted a lot, sorta, and carried on as if he were more important than he really was, and so this was sort of like one of those humbling things, so, yeah. But, okay, whatever, I mean, we're still trapped in the cutscene, so... that ended. And here we are on the Christmas boat. Jingle bell, jingle bell, jingle bell rock. Jingle bell swing and jingle bell dings. Dancing and prancing and... here we go. Another step closer to being done with this. The Crescent Island is close at hand, and the espers with their rage so grand. If anything amiss you happen to see, be sure to find Trixie, or me. This is so much worse than just having someone who could tell me directly what I need to know. Let's go! Fluttershy! Hey, Bloom. Yep, being really soon, dear, now. Come on! See you later, Baka. Or is it Baka? Baraka? Baraka? Goodbye. It's the right time, it's a bright time to dance your cares away. Okay, and that concludes that section of the game, which originally was kind of about, I don't know, romance and human concerns, and coming to realize that the Empire was the same as everywhere else. But in Pony Fantasy, I'm really not sure what that was all about. It seemed to me that Twilight was grappling with the fact that she thought she had to kill all the espers, maybe? Or that she was gonna kill someone else later down the line, even though the war is supposed to be over? I don't really know what it was all about. But anyway, this is the only real battle that we had that's unique, so I thought I'd just show it to you guys, and also I demonstrate that normally you could steal this armor called Gaia Gear from these guys, these alien alpaca things, but I spent a really long time trying to steal from him, and it didn't work. I don't know if that was just really bad luck, or if the game has been altered to quote-unquote increase difficulty, because I ran into this problem before with Wyverns. Normally you'd be able to steal Dragoon Boots, which would allow you to do the jump command. I thought it would be useful, because it would put the characters out of harm's way. The bosses wouldn't be able to do total party kills. But then I found out the hard way I couldn't steal Dragoon Boots. Just a moment, I'm in the zone, as it were. Rarity, you're just standing around. A beautiful and sophisticated unicorn, whose grace is matched only by her generosity. So anyway, yeah, the steal command was never very useful in the original game, except for in a few select places. But in this game it's been even worse, because there's nothing to steal. Espers, whatever do you mean, darling? Don't be silly, you just have to open a history book to at least know what they're supposed to be. Yeah, Rarity, why don't you stop being dumb? I'm afraid we don't have time for ancient history around here. I will never become a great fashion designer if I sit around reading dusty old books. Okay, I'm not really getting a fashion designer vibe here, but whatever. That's odd. Okay, so when we talked about Trixie being in the lead for the game, you know, she gets to be in the opera, she gets to do all these things that really Rarity would have been great for. The excuse we were given by the guy who made the ROM hack was that he needed Rarity to be here, for this scene, with Sweetie Belle. But okay, check out this background music. When you think of Sweetie Belle, for those of you familiar with the show, do you think of a character who's really calm and who's really precocious? I don't. For a long time, Sweetie Belle was depicted in fanworks as being just a little bit special. She's not regarded as one of the show's more intelligent characters. She's replacing a little girl who's supposed to be really precocious, though. Meanwhile, Rarity is replacing an old man. So, why do these characters belong here? Why couldn't they be like, I don't know, Lyra and Bon Bon just living together? If AJ and Apple Bloom don't have to be connected, then how come Sweetie Belle and Rarity have to be connected? Sweetie Belle's not even gonna do a scene that reveals she can actually do magic. Rarity, yes, but not Sweetie Belle. So only the character playing Strago has to be a unicorn. So, I don't know, here we are with Rarity, one of the main 6. Her role's gonna be completely ancillary, but Trixie is gonna be one of the main characters. Really, we're gonna spend a little bit of time here on Thaumasia with Rarity, and then she's just gonna vanish into the background. However, in the next section of the game, we can look forward to Trixie getting her redemption and being a hero, and then she takes over the entire game. There are only 3 characters you are absolutely required to have to complete the game, and Trixie will be the catalyst that saves the world. She will be the primary character. She is Alpha in the 2nd chapter of the game. But Rarity, the only other main character who is a unicorn, will be done, basically, as soon as this dialogue is over. Yeah, we're gonna do a little bit more with her, but we really don't need her. Sweetie Belle's probably gonna play a stronger character than Rarity. And Fluttershy, even Fluttershy is gonna be more influential. My feeling is like, it's like seeing a girl get put in a play, and I know that there was another girl who was more talented, but the girl who got the lead role was like the director's daughter or something. You know, like, I know that some people like Trixie, I know they like the extended canon, but she's really not much of a character if you just take her context from the show. It really seems like it's all just for Sithisto because that's his favorite character, but we moved all this stuff around to try and force Trixie into this role, and she's still not really fitting into it. Take that whole scene with the boat. Which character would be more likely to be hurt that we don't really respect her anymore? The character who spends all of her time making designer dresses for her friends, or the character who was designed from the ground up to be an obnoxious, friendless bitch? And there we go. Scene close. That was most of Rarity's character development, right there. She quoted herself a little. Fans of Rarity, I hope you enjoyed that, because we're done. We'll wrap up the rest of Rarity's lines in the next episode. There, we're also going to find out that Rarity is like a jack of all magics but master of none, and later on we might discover that she's hunting an Ursa Major. Well, I mean a monster called Haydn. Okay, thanks for playing with me, everybody.